Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm sharing some more dinner recipes, but these ones are going to be a little different because these are only $5 dinners, which is perfect. It's so hard to make a dinner for under $5 right now, but I've got some really yummy recipes and they will help you stick to your budget for the month. So I hope that these will help you, and let's go ahead and get started. For this first dinner, I'm making a lasagna soup. This is always a family favorite. My kids really like this one and they eat it really well for me. So I'm just starting off with a little over a pound of ground pork. Go ahead and use a pound, that will work totally fine, but I'm just starting to brown that up a little bit. I'm also adding in one small onion. I've just chopped that up and I'm just gonna brown all of this together. I'm adding in a couple cloves of minced garlic. Let that cook for just a couple of minutes, and then you're gonna be adding in like your sauce and like your broth ingredients. So I've got 15 ounces of crushed tomatoes here. I've also got 1 can of petite diced tomatoes. You can use the Italian petite diced tomatoes if you want to. And then I've also got a whole can of tomato paste that I'm adding right in there. I'm making sure that all of that tomato paste gets mixed in really well before adding in my chicken stock or my chicken broth. I'm just using this organic chicken stock that I got from Costco, but you can use totally whatever you have on hand. You could use vegetable broth, chicken broth, beef broth, anything will work here. But I'm adding in my seasonings. I've got a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of basil, half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and then just salt and pepper to taste. I will have all of my measurements in the description box, so go ahead and look there and you can screenshot it. Bring all of that to a boil, and then once it's boiling, I just added in about 8 lasagna noodles that were all broken up into pieces. Let those cook until the noodles are completely done cooking. Once they are done cooking, I added in about a cup of mozzarella cheese, stirred that in there to make it nice and cheesy, absolutely delicious. I do like to top this with a little bit more mozzarella on top. You can do some parsley for garnish, but you guys, this one is so good and so easy. It's also very, very quick and easy to make. For this next dinner, I'm making a chicken bacon pizza, and you might think, how can you make this for under $5? But I promise that you can. If you make pizza dough from scratch, so cheap and easy to make. Of course, you can buy store-bought, but it's probably going to be more expensive. I will have the recipe down below of the one that I use. It's just a KitchenAid one. It's so easy. It takes like less than 10 minutes to actually prep this, and then you just let it rise for an hour. I throw that in the oven, let it pre-bake for about 7 minutes at 410 degrees, and then I'm just taking this chicken from Costco. Now, these chickens are only $5 from Costco, and this will last like 3 meals for us, so it's super cheap. It's only a little over $1 for this amount of chicken. I just chopped all of that up and got it ready to go while my pizza crust was baking. Once my crust was about halfway baked, then I just added on a good drizzle of ranch, and I just spread that out into a really thin layer. You don't want to do too much here, but you do want a nice thin layer of ranch on there, and then we're going to add on the rest of our toppings. So on this day, I had some mozzarella in my freezer that needed to get used up, and then I also had a little bit of Fiesta blend cheese. So you'll see that I used 2 different kinds, but honestly, just use whatever you have on hand. You're just going to want to add on your favorite cheese, and I did add mine on there frozen, but of course you can use freshly shredded cheese as well. And then I just added on that chopped up chicken and a small amount of bacon bits that I had in the pantry, which really cost like less than $1 when you buy them in a bag like this, and they're very cheap. So you can use this bag for many different recipes. And then I just threw this into a 410-degree oven for about 10 minutes. Once that was done baking, I added a little bit of butter to the crust just to make it like nice and soft and flavorful. Sliced this up, and you guys, this pizza was so good. Definitely something that we will be making again. For this next dinner, I'm making a chicken and rice soup, and this is very basic ingredients that you probably already have on hand, or they're very affordable to buy. So I'm just starting off with making some jasmine rice in my Instant Pot. This is 2 cups of jasmine rice, and I actually only use about half of this for the recipe. I will leave the recipe that I use to make Instant Pot rice down below. It's super quick and easy. You just need water, rice, oil, and a little bit of salt. Let this cook up while I'm getting the rest of my ingredients ready. While my rice was cooking, I'm just getting my veggies chopped up. So I've got like 3 stalks of celery here. I just chopped those up into some really small pieces. Celery is a great one. It adds a lot of flavor. You can also chop this up and throw it in your freezer so it never goes to waste, but you'll have it on hand for soups. It's a great option here. So got that chopped up. And then I've also got about 3 carrots that I decided to add in. So again, chop those up into some really small pieces, and then we're gonna add them into our soup. Now over to my Dutch oven. I just heated up a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Once those were hot, I'm adding in probably like a quarter of a large onion. I didn't add very much for this one. And then I'm adding in my celery as well as my carrots. And I'm just gonna get these nice and soft before adding in the rest of my ingredients. I did add a little bit of salt and pepper here. This is definitely gonna be one of those recipes that you just taste the flavor of it and add as you go, and it turns out great. So just get all of these veggies softened. Now you will see that I'm adding in bone broth here, which if you want a cheaper option, definitely go ahead and just get some chicken bouillon because the bone broth is definitely more expensive. So use the bouillon if you want to stick to a lower budget here, but you're going to want about 1.5 cartons or 6 cups of chicken broth or chicken stock. Whatever you have on hand is totally fine for this one. I did go ahead and add on a little bit of garlic powder because I forgot to add in garlic with my onions earlier. So you can do garlic or you can do garlic powder like I did. Either one is going to be perfect, but you're just going to bring this to a little bit of a slow boil, and then you're going to take that rice once it's done cooking. I only took about half the amount of rice from the Instant Pot and I just threw that in there. I also added in a little bit of that rotisserie chicken. I went with a really small amount of chicken, and then I just seasoned this up with Italian seasoning, oregano, parsley, salt and pepper. Kept the seasonings very basic, but it's just all to taste here. Then you're just going to let this simmer for a couple of minutes and it's done. It was a really quick and easy dinner. Also great for if you have sick kids at home. This is a really great alternative to chicken noodle soup, but it was absolutely delicious. For this next dinner, I am making some air fryer pizzas, and you guys, these are so easy. We also love to make them for lunches in our house. So on this day, I'm actually just using some pepperoni sticks that I had in the freezer to use up, but you can just use regular pepperoni here, or really you can use whatever toppings you want. So I just chopped up the pepperoni, and then all I'm taking is a tortilla. This is just a plain, like medium-sized tortilla, and then you can add on your favorite pizza sauce, or you can use marinara sauce if you have that left over in your fridge. This is a great way to use it up. You're going to want to do just like a thin layer of that. You don't want to do too much, otherwise it can make it soggy. But I just add a thin layer of that sauce on there, and then I'm going to top it with cheese. On this day I had a little bit left over of like the pre-shredded kind, but if you use fresher shredded, it's even better. So just add on your mozzarella, and you can add on any other toppings that you want. I've done sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, like really just whatever we have in the fridge to use up is what I throw on these. And then I just throw this in my air fryer at about 375 degrees. I usually put mine in for, I would say, around like 7 minutes or so. Keep an eye on it. It's going to depend on your air fryer a little bit, but it's so good. You guys, it comes out really crispy and delicious. If you have never tried these, it is such a great option for lunches or for a quick and easy dinner, but a much healthier alternative to like a freezer pizza, and it's also much cheaper. For this next dinner, I'm making some lemon pepper chicken, and this one is so easy, and it's also in the crock pot, which is great for a busy weeknight. So I'm just starting off with my large crock pot. I sprayed it with some oil. I used olive oil, or you can use avocado oil if you're looking for a healthier option. And then I'm adding in my chicken thighs. I think my chicken thighs, I want to say, was right around 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of chicken thighs, and you can really use whatever variety you want. You can do skin on, skin off, boneless, bone in. Really, it just is whatever you want. You're going to want to add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste right on top. And then I've also got about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder that's going to go on there. And then of course we're going to want some lemon pepper for lemon pepper chicken. So I did 1 teaspoon of that. And then I'm adding on 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. You could also add some oregano on there if you like the flavor of oregano. I don't think I added any on this day. And then I'm also adding in 1/2 teaspoon of paprika and about 1/2 teaspoon of red chili flakes. The red chili flakes are totally optional. If you do not want that extra spice, then just skip that one. But those are the seasonings that I added, and I will have it all written out in my description box. You're going to want a big scoop of minced garlic. I probably added a good like heaping tablespoon, or maybe even a little bit more. I definitely love garlic, so we do a lot of garlic in this house. And then for a liquid, you're going to want about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of chicken broth, just a really thin layer on the bottom. And then you're going to add like 4 pats of butter on top. Cook this on high for 4 hours, and you guys, this one is so easy, delicious, full of flavor. You can serve this over rice or pasta. You can just have it plain. This one is a really delicious dinner, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it if you're looking for an easy crock pot meal. Alright you guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. I really hope you enjoyed all of these $5 dinner recipes. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I share a lot of recipes on my channel and they're all very budget friendly and kid friendly too because I do have young kids. So hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss out. But I will see you all in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.